home to shop. Here I am over here. Hi. Anyway, I want to take you to Whatnot's #1 show right now, and it's the MrBeast $1 million giveaway. And I'm going to tell you a little bit of the background. So we'll get in there next. I just kind of want to flip through and show you. Nobody else has anywhere close to like 2,000 people in their show, and this is the pre-show. So right now, there's just this clock running. Okay, you can kind of see it above my head, I hope. I'm going to check on a second device, so bear with me, folks. This has never been done before, so the technology is quickly catching up to us, right? Okay, so I'm still paying attention. Now, I want to tell you, this is the MrBeast $1 million giveaway pre-show. And in a day and 30 plus minutes, it looks like we'll actually have MrBeast on Whatnot giving away $1 million in giveaway prizes. Now, I want to clarify a few points out on social media. This is why it's so important. You want to follow me and make sure you bookmark all of my upcoming shows. I also have a YouTube playlist that explains Whatnot. There's more than 70 videos there, probably more than 80. I can't even take the time to count them all because I'm constantly bringing you new information about how to shop online. You can stay home to shop with me and we can have a lot of fun doing it. Okay, now, the key about this show is it's a cross promotion, all right? MrBeast is going to have a Super Bowl commercial, and so this kind of like leads directly into that from what I can tell. There have been a lot of assumptions based on what limited information has been out on social media, and that's the other thing that's unusual about this is it's kind of it's a low-key announcement, but it's definitely gotten around. So on Whatnot, we're at 2,000 people in a show that is selling absolutely nothing right now, but people are chatting, they're sharing information. You can see all that text right below my face on the screen. I want to check the YouTube feed just to kind of see how this looks, because again, this has never been done before, so there's really not a style guide to how to do one of these reactions, and that's why you're going to want to be the first to get this information from me. Okay, so I'm on my YouTube channel right now. I'm just going to see if the live is showing up. It is showing up. It is definitely showing up. And let's see. Do we have anybody? Oh my gosh. Okay, it's working. It's working. It's working. Okay, we're not going to mess that up. Okay, we're not messing up what's already working. Let me see if I can see anything. Okay, good. So we're still kind of in the preliminary setup phase. Because I don't see any audience. But, again, nobody else has ever done one of these shows like MrBeast, and nobody else has done a reaction video because there hasn't been a reaction video to $1 million in giveaways on Whatnot. So this is really kind of a first in its class. Let me tell you what I found out about the MrBeast giveaways. First of all of the social media hype has said you have to follow MrBeast on Whatnot. The easiest way you can do that is you've got to get signed up. And if you use one of the links in the description box on this video, it's going to do a couple different things for you. I know, now I'm getting a notification that I'm live. The first link is if you want to sell on Whatnot. That'll give you $150 in cash match bonus opportunity. And so you want to use that link if you think you're going to want to sell on Whatnot. But if you just want to start shopping, the next link will give you $15 to spend. The only reason there are two different links is you're going to have to choose which promotion you want to sign up for. In the past, we as sellers and shoppers on Whatnot have been told if you got one, you won't qualify for the other. So I would just tell you, pick the one that looks right to you. Most people, 90+% of the people, you could just get the $15 for free and start shopping. I also have to be clear because MrBeast reaches a worldwide audience, and I'm in the USA. Okay, so what I say applies to buyers in the USA, especially when it comes to shipping prices. We're talking about the 48 contiguous United States. The further away, from the mainland US, the reality is pricing on shipping and other kinds of taxes and stuff can change things. So I don't want to get into those messy details because it can get a little bit messy if you are shopping or shipping internationally, but Whatnot does all the calculating. So you see those numbers shown to you on your screen no matter where you are. Also, Whatnot is rapidly expanding to cover most parts of the globe, but MrBeast is popular in countries like Mexico and Brazil and India, where Whatnot is not currently live selling. So Much of MrBeast's audience won't be able to fully participate in this giveaway. So there is some fine print out there. You're going to have to search it out yourself. It's not the easiest stuff to find, but I think for the most part, if you're in the US, I think you should be eligible for these giveaways. But this is sort of what I've learned, just kind of researching what I can find. Okay, now, what are these giveaways? Well, there are some social media posts, especially on X, which used to be Twitter. There are like photos. One shows a photo of a Birkin bag. One shows a photo of a Bob Ross original oil painting, and that one was estimated in $50,000 in value. I'm gonna mention something. Bob Ross paintings are not widely available. There's a whole Netflix documentary that I saw talking about the history of Bob Ross and his public TV show, and after he passed away, how his collection was, controlled by a company, all right? And so they've held very tight control over his original works, and therefore there just aren't that many out there. So how you would get a comparison price for something that really isn't widely available, I'm not sure. Those are all really good questions to ask the contest sponsor if you win the prize, because eventually somebody's going to have to deal with any kind of a tax that would be paid on it, assuming there are taxes to be paid on it. And this is way outside my area of expertise. So, but with big prizes, sometimes you do have to deal with taxes. Okay, we're moving on. I am just talking in generality. You know, I could go for the next day and then some, and it would still probably not be enough time to explain all the technicalities that apply here. Everybody who I see chatting below is really just kind of giving themselves shout outs. Now, in general, on most Whatnot shows, sellers have some kind of a preference or policy on whether or not they let you promote yourself. You're not supposed to spam somebody's chat. That's what's happening. But the reality is this is not a real live selling show just yet. So if people want to promote themselves, they're going to do that. In my shows, I personally don't encourage chat spamming, but I let people promote freely, because if you're selling anything on the internet, if you are selling anything on the internet, you cannot be shy about it. One of the videos you're going to want to watch on my YouTube channel is when MrBeast first launched his first website, and he did a video kind of like as a promotional lead-in, not at this level. What he did is he opened up a dollar store temporarily. It was only like running for 2 days, but in those 2 days, there were a lot of operational issues that came up. And then, you know, the website he was going to be selling his merch on, that just kind of got dropped in as like an inserted promo during their, you know, operating a dollar store video. But there are some things in there that were some warning signs of future controversies, and that's why you're going to want to go back and watch it. I think the title of my video is MrBeast Allegedly Pays No Tax. But there are like the precursors to a lot of controversies that MrBeast had to deal with maybe about a year after that video was released. And it wasn't necessarily the result of the video, but it was some of the practices that would eventually lead to worse and worse things. So I don't want to do a spoiler alert of my own video. Watch it on YouTube. Let me know what you think in the comments. I would love for that one to get some more views, because, again, now that we're at a totally different point in time, everybody sees things differently. So we're hoping we don't have any of the problems, especially any tax issues, that have been present in MrBeast's past launches. But coming on to Whatnot, which is quickly emerging as the #1 live shopping platform, is definitely a huge transition period for MrBeast, because, again, he reaches a larger audience than Whatnot has. He has, I think, 400 million YouTube subscribers, and Whatnot does not have that many users. Again, some of this is because he's broadcasting and very popular in countries where they're not yet live selling. Now, I want to clarify one point. I do not encourage anybody to try to evade that restriction. If your country does not allow Whatnot just yet, for whatever reason, I would encourage you not to try to be making purchases. or bypass the security features. That can just lead to a whole host of other problems that nobody needs. This video and information and content will get spread around the internet no matter what. So please don't feel like you should be circumventing the security protocols, because they are there legitimately so that sellers can sell actively on the platform, and we don't have disruption with intrusive audiences. Okay, that's kind of like my self-worded PSA. Because while MrBeast is selling, we also have the Super Bowl going, or while he's doing his giveaways, we're going to have the Super Bowl going, and those are very large attention-gathering events. You will also have some sellers on Whatnot simultaneously trying to sell. If I took you to some of their shows, right now, an empty room has 2.2 thousand viewers live right now. But if I took you to another Whatnot show, just for comparison, it's not going to have the same view count. So this is getting a lot of buzz, which is why my views on YouTube should be at record highs. Because anytime you're the first and only, I think that YouTube does sometimes put that more on the suggested video feed. I would hope. If the algorithm is working, that's really what should be happening. But let's find out. Let me just take a little peek-sees, because it may not know how to classify this video either, since we've never done this before. Nobody's ever done it before. It looks like we're still live, so that's a good sign. We are still live. Hold on, I'm doing my peek-sees. I don't want to create any echoes. And so far it doesn't. I don't think it knows how to classify anything. Okay, so we're gonna like ourselves there. I like that we tried to do something new and original and fun and creative. Okay, let's read some of the comments before we explore the rest of Whatnot. And I can kind of take you on a walking tour, or you don't even have to go anywhere, you just keep watching. That's actually probably what we should call this, a watching tour. I can take you on a watching tour of Whatnot. Okay, lots of people calling themselves out. This is going so fast. One person says, I'm a disabled... I'm... something about being disabled. Okay, it's just moving way too fast. Also, on some of the fast-moving chats, Whatnot will internally start filtering comments. So sometimes you'll type a comment, you won't see it on screen. It may have just gotten filtered because there are only so many slots per second, basically. As a seller and a shopper, I've noticed that. So this is kind of one of those, and people might just be doing a lot of duplication because they're missing more slots than they're filling. Lots of people want to get followed. Following on Whatnot is interesting. It's not the same as other social media. It's easier, in my experience, to get followers if you're a seller who gives giveaways to followers only. Having said that, the followers don't necessarily convert to buyers, and a lot of top sellers will explain that in more detail than I am here. So having a high follower count on Whatnot isn't necessarily a metric. It's not a success metric. On other platforms, it is. On Whatnot, it's all about orders and then your actual sales metrics. So, one of the nice things about Whatnot is it shows some of those numbers. So you can see if a seller is really active, or if they're just, like occasionally selling stuff, or if they ever sell anything, because it'll show you how many orders people have had on the platform. And you just find that information under somebody's profile. So like MrBeast, if we want to pull up his profile, why don't we do that? We'll look at his numbers. We'll see what kind of a top seller he is. Okay, so far there are 294 items sold. It's a 2-day average ship time, which is standard. That is meeting Whatnot's expectations, so good job there. And we have 5 stars based on 4 reviews. Let's read some of these reviews. Let me open up the full profile. Okay, hold on a second. This is so good. Okay, now, Ms. IN. Okay, good. Miss IN. These long names. When your kid gets a MrBeast hoodie as an early birthday present and suddenly thinks he's in the next challenge, smile. quality is a 10 out of 10, mom approved. Welcome to the Whatnot community, Mr. Beast. We are huge fans. Ms. And she left a green heart. Fabulous. What a good review. What a good start. And that was left just today. Terrific. Okay, the next review is from Dawn Morning. What a fantastic name. So excited for MrBeast to be joining Whatnot for live selling. Make kindness go viral is a great thing we can all do. 3 years on Whatnot has been life-changing. Yellow heart, diamond, and some cool shades. Awesome. Welcome to Whatnot. The next one is from Ronnie244. Thank you. Great quality. Will definitely keep me warm. And 2 fire emojis. So I would say that's very warm. We also have V Crafts Design. Hoodie looks really good in super fast shipping. So awesome. Again, on this scale, this has never been done before. This is kind of a platform, strength test. And so to see these orders going out on time, and he's already got, several hundred, without ever having done a single second live is pretty impressive. Now, that is one of the other things about Whatnot. People can do some shopping without a live show running. Having said that, it looks like right now they've taken those items down. But there were different hoodies in all different sizes, so people could get their early orders in. There may be some that get dropped. You can add and remove inventory pretty freely within Whatnot. The only thing you cannot do, and this is important for buyers and sellers to know, on Whatnot is you cannot change the shipping settings once a live stream has started. So once the show is officially live, the shipping settings are locked in. And what that basically means is, for the duration of the show, those settings are going to have to stay the way they are. And what that does behind the scenes is, it takes some options that sellers have, and if you didn't set it up that way before the show, you can't add those on during your show. For example, reduced shipping can't be added on during the show, or free shipping can't be applied for part of the show. It's got to run the entire show or be left off the show. Now, here's the other thing about those Whatnot shipping settings. And a lot of sellers have come to me with questions, comments, concerns, whatever, and I don't work for Whatnot. But they've seen my profile, they've watched my YouTube videos, and they've read my reviews. So they trust me when it comes to these questions that I am going to give them my best honest answer. The key is, a lot of first-time sellers or new sellers are asking, well, how do I set up my show for the correct shipping settings? By default, about 80% of the things sold on Whatnot, there is no adjustment needed using the default settings. And I explain this in several videos I have on my channel. The number one video is actually a Whatnot shipping tutorial, and it's not a very long video either. You can get the basics in less than 5 minutes, so I'm not going to waste that time explaining all of these things. But those settings have to be, established before the show starts. Once the show goes live, you can't change the settings, and that ensures that everybody is being quoted fairly and accurately, because before you bid on an item or before you click a buy now purchase, Whatnot is showing you the price for shipping. It'll say shipping plus taxes. So they are quoting you an instant real shipping price. If that price is miscalculated because the seller underestimated or overestimated the weight or the size, you're still going to be charged that amount, period. Whatnot does not try to collect additional money for shipping shortages from the buyers. Now, every week, the seller is given like a handful of adjustments that they can make without getting charged out of their own earnings. But after that, yes, the seller will be responsible for shipping errors that result in higher charges. That's the way the platform works. I think it's very fair, but it's not a scaled solution. So MrBeast, in theory, gets 5 adjustments. I get 5 adjustments. In theory, MrBeast is probably going to sell several thousand items more than I am this week, but we don't know. The week's not over. So if you really want want to make a purchase, you can go check out my profile and see what you can buy. Do it as fast as you can before everything's sold out, because there's not a lot there. Whatnot is really based on the live selling principle. It's not a static listing site where it's like a catalog and eventually the right buyer comes along and finds what they're looking for. Whatnot is all about the interaction with the chat. I cannot keep up with this chat. It is too fast moving. I've been scanning for a comment that I can even read that's just not somebody's, follow me request. There was an India comment. Somebody said India and then had a string of India flag emojis. Okay, so we got to be clear. We're assuming that the person is in one of the areas that Whatnot is lawfully allowed to sell in. Maybe they're asking for it to expand to India, but it's not there yet. Okay. And somebody said it's their first time. Somebody else said, good luck, everyone. Follow for a cookie. That's one of MrBeast's favorite taglines. So we love that. Definitely a good brand integration. Yes. Usually when I read off comments, I would shout out the the commenter's name, but they move so fast, and sometimes they really are hard to read, just based on some unusual spellings. But let me see if I can do something here. Oh my gosh, this is a struggle. The struggle is real, people. Cooling fire. LOL, no. Okay, well, we got that idea. And then Mike Shah and some numbers said, let's go. Yes, favorite Whatnot call out. There's like a whole Whatnotism vocabulary. I guess I should probably explain some of those words. Okay, so run. If you see the words run in chat, people are asking for an item to be put up for live auction. They don't mean like get out of the way or, get out of the building. Run means we want you to run. We want you to start the auction. SB is shorthand for starting bid. So if you see the abbreviation SB ? Somebody's asking what's the starting bid going to be on that item. The word whatnot is used in all different contexts. So whatnot is whatnotting usually means it's glitching or it's behaving badly in some way. And a lot of users have fun, making up their own whatnot puns. There's a whole naughty award ceremony that is totally grassroots in the Whatnot community. We just had the award show. I was the first featured presenter on the award show in January, and it's all arranged by a woman whose Whatnot name is The Suburban Bish, B-I-S-H. The Suburban Bish, B-I-S-H. And she does the Naughty Awards. The funny thing is, when she was contacting a lot of the sellers who had been nominated for different awards, because it was open to the whole community, and some people have come out and said they thought it was a scam, because her screen name is just the one she uses for her Whatnot stuff. She didn't have like a separate one like the official Naughty Awards or anything like that. NOTTY. And I think one of the winners one of the finalists for sure, but maybe even one of the winners really did think it was a scam and kind of boycotted the award show or didn't pay any attention to it and ended up, I know was in the finalist. I'll have to check the winners list. Anyway, all that information is on my YouTube channel if you guys want to see who the Whatnot award winners were or that ceremony. But Whatnot is very community driven. That is not a corporate initiative. That is just a seller who found that about a year ago she really enjoyed the shows that she was seeing in certain categories and wanted a way to honor those people, so she started small, and then it expanded like 10 times within that first, between year 1 and year 2. And year 2 is when I found out about it, and I got approached to be a featured presenter because her award committee had seen some of my shows, and they said, well, we think you'd be really, a fun addition to the Naughty Awards. And I was like, thank you. And could you tell me more about what these awards really are? And I was nominated myself. I got nominated for 6. I finalist 0. That's how serious the competition became. But it was very flattering to be honored, and I know some of the winners too. I actually have become friends with some of the category winners, and it's just by our interacting on the platform during their shows, my shows, and other people's shows. The chat is really where it's at, and that's the part that you really don't ever get to see on YouTube. Now, most people, when they watch a Whatnot show, they're like, what is this person doing? It looks like somebody is talking to different voices in their head. Because in essence, you're kind of trying to keep track of 50 running conversations with a lot of inside jokes, and a lot of it is based around college humor. So your first few occasions on Whatnot, if you're in a really busy show, they're very disorienting. I'm in categories that tend to have smaller sized audiences where we can actually share the jokes and the communication back and forth, and it doesn't get too over cluttered. But it's funny. It really is funny. And I've seen so many sellers start literally by selling stuff out of their garage, and now they're in warehouses. And when it was in their garage, they recognized everybody in their chat. They knew everybody almost on a first name basis. They knew people's preferences and likes. And now it's like they just get swamped with hundreds of people in their shows. And it's really hard for them to kind of differentiate or keep track of everybody. But I still pop in on some of my famous Whatnotters because I like to see them grow, and I like to see their success continue. On any other platform, that kind of fast track where within a year you could be literally struggling in your garage to like making mega bucks in a warehouse. I haven't seen that happen anywhere else. So Whatnot has definitely become the category leader. We have something. This is so good. It's telling us exactly what we need to do to qualify for giveaways. Make sure you follow the steps on the screen. I've never seen. This is so good. Oh my gosh. I love the video. I actually do love this video. I 100% love the video. Okay, now winners being contacted by email is not normal. That is something that's different here. Normally that is not the protocol. So this is something different, but I love that promo video. It really explained everything. We haven't had that before, and now 3,000 people are interested. How cool was that? A little flash animation tells us how to enter giveaways. Okay, so let me recap what we just saw. We saw in order to enter giveaways, you have to have a complete profile. That's obviously going to include your basics, name, address, that sort of thing. And it did say giveaways are free to enter. That is important. And during the show, up at the top corner, so literally like off to this side of my head, depending on which side of the screen you're seeing, there would be a button that'll pop up and it'll say giveaway, and you push the button and then it'll let you enter. Now, there are a few different types of giveaways on Whatnot. I should explain that. People who aren't familiar with the platform won't know this information. The first are anybody and everybody. So as long as you're on the platform in the show at the time the giveaway is drawn, it'll allow you to enter. I mentioned early we do have some territorial or country restrictions, but in general, if you're seeing that box and it's saying you can enter, you can enter. So it's open to everybody. The next type of giveaway is to followers only. So what it's going to do is it's going to say follow and enter. All you have to do is push that one button. It'll automatically make you a follower of that seller, and it'll enter you in that giveaway. You always have to be present in the live show room when the drawing takes place to be considered eligible. And then the last kind are the ones that are a little more nuanced. I don't think they're going to do this during the MrBeast show based on that animation, but those are called buyer's giveaways. And what happens is, in order to be eligible for a buyer's giveaway, you have to make a purchase after the giveaway is created. So when you go down into people's shows, at the bottom corner, it's like a little shop icon. It'll show you all the giveaways that are preloaded. If any of those are buyers giveaways and you make a purchase, you're going to be eligible for that giveaway. However, if the seller decides, midstream or toward the end of the stream, I want to do something special for my buyers, and they create a new buyer's giveaway, only people who make a purchase after that giveaway is created would be eligible. And I know that leads to confusion sometimes because some of these live streams can run for hours. 2 hours is pretty standard, but there are 6 hours, there are 18-hour marathons. Some people will do 24-hour marathons where they're constantly loading in new inventory and possibly creating different giveaways. So buyers' giveaways have to exist before you purchase to become eligible. If you make a purchase early in the show and then the seller decides they're going to start doing buyers giveaways, you're going to have to make an additional purchase after that giveaway. So the flash screen was pretty easy to understand. I don't think they're going to do buyers giveaways here. Now, every buyer's giveaway also has to have an alternate method of entry. That is a federal legal requirement. And so there's a form that you can fill out. But I will tell you from experience, it's really hard to copy and type in two different long strings of code. One is the show ID and the second is the giveaway ID, and get those into the form. It's possible, but it takes a little while to do it. So just know that. The other thing is the giveaway feature is only active on mobile interfaces. It will not be active if you're on a desktop or web browser device. So, of course, we want as many people watching as many Whatnot shows as we can reasonably encourage, but it's only going to be the mobile platform users that are going to have that feature. So if you haven't already downloaded the Whatnot app, you'll go to your app store, whether you use Android or you use Apple, iPhone. You'll go to the App Store and you'll actually download the app there. And you'll look for that official Whatnot app. There's no charge to download it, and there's no subscription fee to get signed up for it. There's also no recurring fee where you can qualify for free or reduced shipping, such as different platforms. Some platforms will sell a membership package. Whatnot doesn't have that package. So it's pretty basic once you're signed up. Now, there is a difference between verified buyers and just general registered users. So ideally, to qualify for the most, you want to become a verified buyer. And it basically just means you're going to make a purchase and provide some proof of identity, I think. It's been so long since I set up my Whatnot account that I really can't take you step by step through this process because I've done it so long ago. I started selling on the platform in January of 2024, and it may not seem like it was that long ago, but the platform we use now is far more enhanced. It has a lot more features. There's just, it just is a much smoother operation overall. The one thing that I think Whatnot has really spent a lot of resources on is enhancing the shipping platform capability. But since a lot of that is done outside the customer view, most people don't recognize what a vast improvement it's become. It's really given sellers a better way to manage and control their business flow. And I really love that. And I love the low price shipping that we have within the 48 contiguous United States. So that is definitely a huge benefit. In fact, I do want to clarify. So I'm encouraging people to shop on Whatnot, but if you compare prices, if you look at the price to purchase a MrBeast hoodie, sweatshirt, for example, even if the price was less elsewhere, you might end up spending more on the shipping because hoodies will typically weigh, let's just say about 1 to 2 pounds maybe. And then you have to include whatever packaging material weight there too. So somewhere in that 2 to 3 pound shipping price category, that is not an inexpensive item to ship most places. But on Whatnot, the max would be $9.21 for anything in that 1 to 5 pound range. So right there, you get an instant discount. Retail shipping rates, assuming you're using some kind of a commercial discount deal, would probably be somewhere in the range of maybe $15, possibly as high as $20. to ship that same item. And that's just my knowledge as a seller who sold on a few different platforms successfully, all under the Stay Home brand. So wherever you found me, whether it was Whatnot or YouTube or a different shopping platform, you would have recognized the logo because it's all been consistent going back to 2021 when I uploaded my first YouTube video. And I'm so glad that I did that because, getting started on YouTube prepared me to eventually go to e-commerce, but originally I never thought I'd be selling stuff on these platforms. I thought I would just do shopping tutorials, but since I already had my brand established, I had my logo, I had my colors, I had my name, I had my everything worked out, even my ideal demographic, I was able to kind of just go on to my favorite platforms and say, okay, sign me up for an account and let's see how well we do. And every place that I've tested using the Stay Home brand in the United States, it has been commercially successful. Internationally, it has not performed as well. So, but definitely within the US, the Stay Home brand is very well liked, recognized, 5-star reviews all over the place. And I love that. I absolutely love that. Okay, let me look. Because I am seeing the chat now that there's more than 3,000 people joining us here. And welcome in. Hold on. Somebody said my grandson purchases. So that's another thing that's so funny about MrBeast audience and Whatnot audience is the demographic at MrBeast stops in the early 20s, and on Whatnot it starts in the early 20s. So it will be interesting to see if, like Gen Alpha, how well they do with like a millennial shopping crowd. I'm not sure. You have to be 18 to sell on Whatnot or use the app. If you are not 18, you can sell with parental supervision, but I don't know what age that starts at. And to shop on the app, I think they do maintain the 18 threshold. I'm just looking through the chats. Whatnot is, my experience has been, number one, as a seller, you want to do giveaways for followers only. That'll increase your follower count really fast. The other thing that you can do is just participate in the chat, but don't ask people to follow you. Because if you offer helpful information or, people see you as kind of an active participant, you're reacting to their jokes, you're cracking a few of your own, people will just naturally want to follow you. And so they'll just click your icon and click the follow button. In fact, I think I can probably do that on the screen and show you guys what that looks like. Let's see. Who do we want to follow? There. Somebody said let's go. Oops, I missed that one. Here. I like the hearts. Okay, hold on. There. Okay, we're gonna follow Abdullah. Yes, we're gonna follow. Well, before we do that, let's check out your profile. You have 0 followers. I'm gonna be your first follower. I hope you love that. There, I don't even think you asked to get followed, and you got a follower. How cool was that? Somebody says they've never won anything. If you want to win giveaways, my best suggestion is go to the small shows. Deals from me to you. I do love that name, so I'm going to follow you there. Now let's look at your profile. I can always unfollow, and I can follow you back, and I can unfollow, and I can follow you back. Okay, here we go. Hi, I'm Diane. I'm a firm believer that you don't have to break the bank to live well. My passion is finding incredible deals, not just for myself, but to pass the savings on to others. I share life with my amazing husband and very 2 spoiled cats who definitely benefit from my bargain hunting skills. Be sure to follow me, and it's got an IG address. Okay, very fun. And you've sold a few things. 43 items sold, less than a day average shipping time, so you're mastering that Whatnot shipping like a pro. You've got 17 5-star reviews. Hey, that's more than MrBeast has. It's not a contest, but you are winning that race. Let's go back and see if we can read some of those reviews down here. Okay, here we go. Danny says, love my sweatpants, packaged with care, and love all the goodies you included with it. Thanks. We're still in the MrBeast show, by the way. I'm just doing this in the background. Tardan says, love it. And Kara said, absolutely fantastic seller. I made a large 15-item order, and every single item was in perfect condition. response was, "Thank you so much for the rating review, Kara. It was such a pleasure to have you join my show. Uh, hope to see you again." Okay, and so yeah, that's cool too. On Whatnot, not many sellers will respond to every review, but those who take the time to do that, I mean, it just kind of shows you that they are very customer service facing. Another thing I want to mention is Whatnot by default assumes that you're going to bundle shipping. Now, there are going to be shows that fall outside that. And if that's the case, the sellers should alert their audience. And because the audience is going to see the correct shipping price with every item they bid on or could purchase, the people who buy more than one thing, they'll know right away whether or not there's going to be any kind of a bundled shipping discount. But the default is that you will bundle those things. So when you start loading up, because we've got that best rate of $9.21 for 1 to 5 pounds, or a single flat rate packet, a single flat rate box that's priority mail from the U.S. Postal Service. Okay, so whatever you can stuff inside that large flat rate box from the post office, that could ship for $9.21. So if you're able to get, a dozen or more things and you're only paying, less than $10 in shipping, that is some super savings. So I have a sneaky suspicion that is one reason why that customer was so satisfied. But obviously, if everything arrived in perfect condition, it was well packed, so we're good there. If you want to win giveaways, make sure you actually focus on going to the smaller shows. You want to be in shows that have maybe a dozen or fewer people. Now, those sellers can't really afford to do a lot of giveaways, but many will do a giveaway at the start of their show. Some will do a giveaway if they get a raid where another seller ends their show and dumps their audience to another show so that people don't have to stop. They can just keep shopping and swiping. That's how we bid on things. That's how we buy things on Whatnot, is we swipe. Um, so swipe it like it's hot. Now on YouTube, what you do is put you just put me on a dedicated device, and you can come and go as you choose. Okay, but on Whatnot, we're constantly swiping as we're making our purchases and our bids. Um, the raid will sometimes, some sellers will do a giveaway. Some sellers won't. And that's where Whatnot gives sellers the discretion to decide how they want to run their shows and their business. But usually the ones that don't do a giveaway will do something special to recognize that raid coming in. One seller that I'm familiar with will do like a dollar start on a really desirable item. So they'll take something that might have a value of $100 and they'll start it at a $1 auction price. Another thing is, I'm trying to think of other things that people do to, for different rates. But the point being, if they don't do giveaways when they get a raid, it's not a requirement. It's a common thing. Another type of giveaway are sponsored giveaways, but those are going to be for your larger shows. So for your smaller sellers, where you can see like maybe a dozen or fewer people in the room, if they are running giveaways during their shows, jump in on those giveaways, because statistically those are going to be your best chances to win. You might have a 1 in 10 or 1 in 5 chance of winning, and it's just randomly going to pull. I understand that a lot of people say there are, conspiracies or algorithm hacks for these small sized giveaways, but what I'm also going to mention is I don't really believe that, because anytime you're dealing with less than 100 data points, you will never get a statistically valid result. So it is possible, and it does happen, that one person can win giveaway after giveaway after giveaway in a small show, whereas in a larger show you wouldn't see that same occurrence, because we don't have 100 people entering the giveaway. So yeah, anytime you have like really, really small data sets, you can sometimes get really unusual results. And that's one reason I like to sample some of the small sellers, because what I'll do is I'll load up on all the stuff that I buy and anything that I win, and I'll do an unboxing show. And most often I'll instantly start selling the stuff that I don't particularly want. It's usually stuff that I want on a giveaway. And if I don't sell it, I'll just recycle it. I'll just give it away again. So I've done those where I've run giveaways. I'm like, you know what? If I got 20 giveaways, why don't I just assume I'm gonna do 10 giveaways and I'll just start regifting stuff. Those can be a lot of fun. As a seller, I don't really make money just by regifting. I'm paying some excess shipping that way, but if it keeps people engaged, that's the fun of those shows. Especially when I get really good deals. Oh my gosh, I can never tell you. Like, I have gotten some good stuff on giveaways. One time I got a pair of women's shoes that were obviously for women, but they weren't my size. I would have been rocking out some pink Nikes, but I had no use for them myself. So I was like, well, does anybody want to buy these? And they said yes. The chat said yes. And I was like, well, how much are they worth, or what do they go for? And that was really cool because they came new in a box, so I could just hold up the description, and they could search for it. And somebody was like, well, they were like selling for $50. So I got some $50 brand new Nike shoes sent to me. Did nothing other than enter a giveaway. And I was like, well, I'll do them for half price. How about that? 25. And somebody instantly snagged a good deal. So that was like the ultimate, like, how easy is this? I mean, if I don't want something, but it's in perfect condition, and they were nice shoes, they just weren't my size, and whatever. But I was able to just I was able to resell them, but I was able to use the chat to help me solve that problem instantly. I didn't have to store them for a week. I didn't have to take photos and list them on a different website. It was just perfect. So that was a good experience. I will sometimes just get random fashion gifted to me. And that's true with clothing sellers because they end up with so many like stragglers or strays. And usually those make those can make good giveaways, but since that is size and gender specific, I usually just try to sell it, starting at like $1, $2, maybe $3, depending on what it is. You can watch a YouTube video where I sold an Armani blazer for $5. An Armani women's blazer jacket, really pretty, really formal, perfect size for the person who bought it. Apparently, fits like a glove, and whatnot can be that magical place. It's like a magical mall, actually, because you don't have to wait for MrBeast to give stuff away. There are people giving stuff away on the platform right now. If you guys don't mind, I'll back out of this pre-show, and I'll show you what the rest of Whatnot looks like. We can always come back to MrBeast. He's going to be pretty easy to find. They've got him like front and center. But let's check out Jen Deals. Jen Deals is really cool. I'm going to have her turn down here for a second. And I'm going to... she's got about a dozen people on her show, so she would be a small seller. So if she runs a giveaway, we've got really good odds. I'm going to... hi... You're live on YouTube. Just as a courtesy, I want to let her know that on my Mr. Me pre-show. How about that? And I'll turn up the sound so we'll listen to what Jen says.
Yay, congratulations. You got Dream Bright.
Okay, let's give her a second.
You got Dream Bright. I have this one. I think you are looking for the pink one.
Jen Deals is the queen of Bath and Body Works.
It's good. It's good.
Okay, so she missed that comment, but that's okay.
Cashmere and snowflakes. I can check. Definitely, I can check for that one. Cashmere and snowflakes.
Okay, just going to do congratulations on your show. I'm promoting.
I don't see that one
on YouTube right now. And
Winter Candy Apple, though.
We've co-hosted in the past, so Jen knows who I am.
Oh, thank you so much. Stay at home. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're the best. Okay.
Do you guys need any wallflower bulbs? I have those.
There we go. Love the auto emojis. That makes it doable.
Does anybody need any wallflower bulbs? Yes. Okay.
I've been taking it to her shop too.
Thank you so much. I don't have. Oh, the body wash. Yes.
Okay. So she's running everything.
And a mini set.
$5 starts. Is she doing giveaways? She will be doing giveaways. And let's see what she's sold over here. She's already got 31 sales. She just did a giveaway. Wait, is that a giveaway?
You need full size?
No, she did a giveaway here. She did. One moment. This was a giveaway here in the middle of the screen.
I don't think I have any of the full size though. This is Campfire donut. You're gonna get nice. 2 bulbs, guys.
She's doing really good.
2 bulbs. They are $7 in the store.
What is this?
Each. Here you are getting 2 for $5. Carson holders, I don't. I wish I did though.
Okay.
Those are really, really good. I need to get some. Those are my favorite, like for myself. Thank you so much.
Okay, so this is more how a normal show runs.
McGinnis body wash.
Somebody's asking for room sprays.
I have Campfire donut.
Kara wants room sprays. And
did I just run the Campfire donut?
Kara. I'm not a mod.
Room sprays, I do.
I'll just ask her what her favorite tin is.
Campfire donut room sprays. You're gonna get 2 for $5. That's the only scent I have.
Okay, we just got an answer.
Is Campfire donut.
I think that's everyone's favorite.
No problem. I have anyone ready for summer? I am ready for summer. Here is a nice little bundle. Any wallflowers? I do. I have one.
It doesn't really matter when that comment goes.
But I have many of them.
You know what? Generally, it's everyone's favorite. So we're just going with it.
If anybody wants me to run it.
Okay, so I'm going to let Jen do her thing.
This wallflower. Ooh. It's from the Villains. It's $22.95 at the store.
Look at
We're going to run it for $5 here.
Look at that thing.
$5, guys. That's the only wallflower that I have.
Okay, we're going to get out of the show.
In it. Thank you.
That is what a more normal whatnot show would function as. Tristina definitely is an artist you want to follow. And by the way, my suggestions are going to be different than yours because Whatnot tries to tailor this to our favorite shopping categories. Okay, premier shops. These tend to be mid to high volume sellers. They have to meet very, very high quality metrics as well. So these are some of the premier shops that are, I'm just kind of scrolling around here. But I'm really looking for something interesting. And because again, it's on the For You setting right here. I'm not MrBeast, but here, pretend I'm MrBeast. It's For You. Let's go to followed hosts and let's see. Joe Hollywood is a very successful seller. He's got 803 people in. So MrBeast is winning the popularity contest today. Cheaper than retail. Let's see. Yeah, MrBeast, I'm definitely following for sure. Oh, here's actually a really good home decor. Angie Mill is a really good home decor seller. I'll sample that one so you kind of see. They're selling rugs.
Last we did a blue 5x7. Now let's do a brown 5x7, and then we'll move up to 6x9. 6x9, okay? I see some requests for 6x9. You got it.
Okay, so they've got different styles and sizes of floor rugs.
This is the color for the 5x7. I do have a 6x9 for this one. I do have a 6x9 for this pattern.
Okay.
This has-friendly pattern. Gradient from blue to gray to brown. Size 5x7, and then we'll do 6x9. Okay. Yes, Jeanette. Great taste. All right, size 5x7.
I want to see what
Up
price.
and running for 10 seconds.
Okay, so she's
Do not
starting
miss
at
out,
20.
chat. And this one will fit a smaller living room, a smaller bedroom, size 5x7.
Okay.
Right.
So anyway, obviously that's going to be color size specific. Let's just keep scrolling.
Give me just a second here.
This is all custom 3D printed stuff. Really cool. Oh, we've got a giveaway. Here, let's just enter the giveaway. Follower appreciation. Okay. Turning that one down a little bit. So yes. So now this is an example. I'm in the giveaway right now. There's less than 20 people. Statistically, odds are pretty good. Not guaranteed. But if I hang out here, it could take up to 5 minutes to pull this because that's the longest a giveaway clock will run. Sometimes the sellers will pull early, and I don't know at what point we entered this giveaway, so I don't know how much time is remaining, but we can chill for a bit. I have to be in the room to win the giveaway, but I want to stay here long enough that you can kind of see how the giveaway countdown works. In the MrBeast preview show, it was talking about winners being notified by email. That is not the normal way that we find out who won the giveaway. So I want to show you normally how this works, and if they have to do something different because MrBeast is expected to have so much larger of a show audience, and the prizes obviously are of high value, then that's something different they're going to be doing. So that'll be interesting to see, and I can share that with you guys. If you guys like this style of content, you need to make sure that I'm aware of it in the comments, because I want to make sure that I've got my YouTube video filled up with lots of videos you want to watch, not just stuff that I can put online. I am friendly with so many Whatnot sellers. They will gladly let me sample their shows. Some will even ask me to do that. So I want to bring you guys the kind of content you're interested in seeing. This seller is running purses, and somebody just won a purse for $10. That's pretty amazing. This is Bagley Mishka. It's a large quilted tote. It's starting at $25. We're going to see what it actually sells for. If it sells, and if it doesn't, she can put it back on the shelf and grab something else. She can always rerun these things later that don't sell. So it's not the worst thing. But this is where the audience should be helping her prioritize, calling out their favorite brands, favorite colors, if they want small or large. That's where in a small show you get a lot more attention and a much better chance of winning an item at a low price. So I'm sharing some shopping secrets with you. Let's look at her shop while she does this, because we're waiting for the giveaway to come down. She has 473 products ready to go, preloaded. She's got a lot of shoes. So these are going to be searchable too. So what if I just did tote? Let's see if she's got anything listed for tote. And she does. And look, ooh, wait a second. Come here for a second. I see a BB that is a $1 start tote. I see another one. She's got some, and I can even pre-bid on these if I want to. It doesn't mean it's going to sell for $1, and she doesn't have to run it necessarily. But if a lot of people enter pre-bids, it's more likely to run that way. Okay, so interesting. Okay, let's get out of that, and let's get out of that, because we're seeing the winner. Who's the winner? Oh, that grunge chick! Congratulations! We're gonna congratulate that grunge chick. Yes. Not necessary, but just to show you, how those things work. As I'm using the app, because in less than 24 hours, we are going to have probably 100,000 people, maybe 1 million people, maybe multiple millions of people who've never used this app before. So this is a primer. And if you are attending shows other than MrBeast, please keep some of these points in mind, because it keeps it a fun experience for everybody. So here I'm going to show you over in the sold tab, that grunge chick right here, we can see is the winner of that giveaway. So there's no doubt that grunge chick does not have to do anything else other than wait for the item to arrive, because they have their address in the profile, and the seller will be able to print out a shipping label and send it off. So really cool stuff. That's how a normal giveaway would function. MrBeast giveaways are not normal, so we're going to see how well they function. But let's go back to MrBeast and see how we're doing on that audience, and come back at 2:15 p.m. Eastern. It looks like they're going to have something special planned. Now, this is very different, again, than a this is very different than a typical live show. Usually, you can't really schedule things. You can have a pre-show video running, but it basically has to be edited and finished, and then it reruns. Okay, so if you guys want to see like what one of my pre-show videos would look like, it's very different. It doesn't have a countdown clock. It doesn't have different time slots for inserts. But this show has not gone live. Or wait a second, has it gone live? I don't think it's gone live. You know, the thing that's throwing this off is maybe it has gone live because of the red counter up here. Did it go live? It might be in live mode. That is very different than what it is live. I'm sorry. Everything I've been saying has been under the idea that we're in pre-show. We're actually in live show, which is very different because Whatnot does not allow a unattended live stream. So that's a special courtesy they're giving MrBeast to get people warmed up, I guess. I don't know. That is so interesting. So whatever shipping settings there are, those are already locked in. The live show is live. It's live. It's not really going to be live for another day, but it's live now. Huh. I hadn't even thought about that. Let me go back over here. Actually, wait. I want to be strategic about this. For me, how do I do this? Because I know what I've got pre-scheduled. I'll just type in "stay home to shop." Okay, here, right here. Cool. Okay, let's look at one of my shows. So this is not live. Oh wait, I was supposed to do a live today. Okay, well, here. This is. We're not ready to start, but this is what this is what a pre-roll video might look like. A pre-show video. I was gonna do a brunch show, but I didn't catch the fact that it was this. It was today. For some reason, I just keep thinking it's next weekend. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to edit the show, and I'm going to change the time. And sorry for all of you disappointed folks. We'll just make it. Valentine's Day is not the best day. Let's do Valentine's. Okay, there. We'll make it for Sunday after Valentine's. There we go. But nobody has bought me brunch so far, so I keep pushing that show off. Now, if somebody buys me brunch, I will actually do the show. I will do the show. Because it's different than a traditional or a typical YouTube eating challenge. It's where I get to go sample different foods and I get to tell you what I like and you get to suggest what you think I should get on my next trip up to the buffet. So Whatnot gives me a way to do that in a much more interactive and engaging format than I can do on YouTube. And I don't really do food shows, but they are very, very popular. So I've had that out there as kind of like a challenge. If somebody wants to buy me brunch, I will go do it. Okay, now this pop-up show is lots of fun because you get, and there is some music in the background, but you get to hear me talk and you get to see what some of my shows look like. So this is like a typical video pre-roll. It's just sort of previewing some of my past shows. So you get a sense of how I sell, the types of products I sell, what people in the chat are saying in response. This is actually a giveaway unveiling where I'm showing people stuff that sellers sent me for free. And I'm re-giving it away. This is me selling some signs. Somebody's going to end up with a mega deal here, but there's also always potential something's going to come crashing down during a live stream, and that's part of the fun. This is that Armani jacket I was talking about, size 8. and it sold for $5. And then this is another. All of this stuff you can watch on YouTube. These are YouTube short clips too. So you don't even have to watch long videos. You can see a lot of this stuff on YouTube. Those are some of the holiday packages. Um, and anyway, okay, so this, yeah. You can watch all of it. This video is on YouTube. You can watch all of it, and you'll get the full music soundtrack and everything. Okay, so let's go back. So we've got those shows already previewing. Let's see who else is here. Sometimes people don't want to compete if there's like a big show running. But let's go to craft supplies. So these are all really good shows to sample, assuming they're going to be running giveaways. If you want to have a good chance to win something, I'm just going to scroll through until we see a giveaway up at the corner. And if we don't, we don't. This is an audience poll. What do you want to see? Let's go with wraps. It's right in the middle there. Most people would rather see heat transfers. Okay. These, where it says pay $9.21 in max shipping costs, those are reduced shipping. So if you bought 70 pounds worth of stuff, you would pay no more than $9.21. This one's even less than that. This one is $7.99. So pay attention to those alerts up at the top of the screen, because you can find some even better deals. We have a giveaway going right here. That's a buyer giveaway. So here's what we would have to do. To enter, make a purchase, or visit the giveaway page for the alternate entry method. So we have to do that. What has she got running here? And I forget which number. I'm just going to imagine it's this one here. And what I would do is I would have to go use these strings, and then the form, I would have to type that in or copy it. But the problem is you have to copy it separately. So I'm not going to do that, but I'll just show you. There is an actual way to do it. Tells you all about how to do that right here. Then we go to the web form. Then we put in our information. Then we got to do the first one, and then we got to do the second one. So that's how you do it. It is a manual process, but it's there and it is accessible. So we're moving on. So not a lot of giveaways going in crafts. That's understandable. These are small shows too, because the seller does have to pay for the item and they have to pay the shipping costs. So if you don't have a large audience to spread that cost around with, it's not so easy. MrBeast has 400 million YouTube viewers. He can. Okay, so this one I got in just as a follower giveaway. So here we go. It looks like she's selling some doilies, maybe handmade or vintage, which is really cool. Let's read her profile. Let's see who we're shopping with here. Okay, less than 1 day, has sold more than almost 6,000 items. Knows her stuff for sure. 5-star reviews. Let's take a look at some of that. But I wanted to go back and point something else out. She has a rewards club. That little crown up there means the more I purchase from the seller, I will start to get coupons that I can use on my next purchases, which is fun. And there's different ways to earn them. So if I just watch 5 of her shows, it has to be 10 uninterrupted minutes to count as a show view under option 3. So if I do that, if I watch 10 minutes of this show, come back on a different show, watch 10 minutes there, I could theoretically complete this without making any of these purchasing requirements. But otherwise, purchase 5 items or spend $30. And then that takes me up to, and then I get a $5 coupon. So there you go. That would take me up to silver, and at silver, it'll tell me what those requirements once I'm there. So it goes all the way up to diamond. Okay, but the rewards, the whatnot rewards, I love because they're just automatic. If you qualify, you qualify. You don't have to enter any separate information. It just tracks your purchases and your watch time, so that eventually you might find coupons, and you'll start to see a little badge where that red live that dot is where you would see like a reward badge. For example, fortunately lucky down here, that little circle there is a reward badge right next to her picture. So she's in the reward program for this seller. And you can also turn those off if you don't want those on your profile photo. You can turn those off. Whatnot gives users on all sides, buyers and sellers, a lot of flexibility and customization options. You just have to know about the features and kind of how they work, and then you can set it up the way that you like it. Now I'm going to look at the show notes and see what we can find. So she's trying to see how much lace she can run in 2 hours, and she said she'd do some doilies if time allows, so we lucked out. And then she says she's got weekly fabric shows on Wednesdays. Okay. Another key thing I want to talk about is, as a generality, Whatnot does not permit returns, and only in limited circumstances are cancellations allowed. So most sellers will reinforce that. They'll remind people, we don't do returns, we don't do cancellations, you have to bid responsibly. But there are limited circumstances. You can read up on all Whatnot's policies on help.whatnot.com if you ever have a question, because a lot of times these things sort of happen during... why am I stuck on this other device? I don't know. Am I still live? I'm still live. Okay, it froze on this other device. I think I need to just get out of this other device so I'm not clogging up my internet. Maybe that's what it was trying to tell me. I'll just focus on you guys here. How terrific is this? This is so much fun. I'm so excited. The excitement is building. If we hung out for another hour, I could take you back over to MrBeast, who has a special announcement planned at 1:15 my time, 2:15 Eastern time. I don't know that I'm gonna prolong this that long, but let's see if I should. No, I probably shouldn't. I've already been going for about an hour. I just want to see this giveaway roll, and we'll go back and we'll wrap it up. And MrBeast, I'm blocking the thing. Fortunately lucky, well, you do deserve to win. If you're a rewards club member, you definitely have put in your shopping time and probably made several purchases. So let's go back to the main page and we'll go back to MrBeast. There we go. Okay, here we go. So we have an upcoming announcement. This is so super. Now, one of the things I found a little unusual about the MrBeast Whatnot Live is that it wasn't using a lot of video preview, and MrBeast runs a video production company, like a professional production company. They have done, like, prime game show series and things, so they have that capability. I don't know why they didn't use it for some of this pre-show promotion, and like right now it's got a graphic, but they could be running little video clips and inserts. They could be previewing the prizes. There's just a lot that can be done using Whatnot's live video technology. That this is kind of not really showing off the full capability. So hopefully as we get closer to showtime, maybe we'll get some of those like real high energy previews that MrBeast is known for with his brand. We have more people commenting down below. Somebody said MrBeast. Okay, so they're at least paying attention to the show they're watching. That's a good thing. And then it says, oh, somebody said this UK only or worldwide. So obviously it's allowing viewers from the UK, which Whatnot is. They are live selling in the UK. But worldwide, again, it would not apply to countries where Whatnot is not set up to do business. Every country has its own rules, and even though it seems a little bit aggravating, it really is for everybody's safety, and especially to avoid scamming. So if Whatnot is not active in your country, territory, or wherever you happen to be, please don't try to tap into Whatnot. It's just not a safe way to go about doing things, even if it seems like you're missing out, but you're not, because I'm sure there's going to be so many simulcasts, so many other ways you can get this. Like right now on YouTube, people in India could be watching my YouTube channel, even if they're not able to access the MrBeast Whatnot show, and I'm showing it to you. So there's no need to have to break any rules or boundaries. Whatnot has the capabilities, especially partnered up with other social media platforms to bring this to a worldwide audience while everybody kind of stays in our lane, selling where we're authorized to sell. And the only other thing that has happened, and this would be very interesting, because MrBeast is known to like go out and find these remote islands all over the world. When we sell stuff, we need to be located in the approved areas. We have another preview. I'm gonna try to stop talking. Okay, it's telling us how to do giveaways. The first thing you do is you click your wallet icon, and that's down at the bottom of the screen. I'm not going to do it because it's going to show you my information, which you don't need. You'll put your information there. It's saying giveaways are free to enter, and then you click the giveaway during the show, and then you do you're in the giveaway. So it also it did say follow was a requirement. So it does seem to imply that these are going to be follower giveaways, but they could just be general giveaways to anybody. Because the way the animation looked, it looked like it was a general, not a follower exclusive giveaway. Excuse me. Okay, add payment info for sure. And again, this has to do with verified buyers. We don't want people filling in like just bogus stuff and then having these items shipped to like these like random non-existent addresses like 123 Sesame Street. We don't need that. That's not funny because it's not going to help you and it's not going to help anybody and it's not going to benefit anybody. So please play by the rules. If you need to refer to the rule book at any point during a show, you can go to help.whatnot.com. You can do it before a show if you're trying to get prepared as a seller. You can do it after a show if you're a buyer and you're wondering like, something seems wrong about whatever, something that happened during a show or the way price or shipping amount was calculated. You can go to help.whatnot.com and they have the official rule book. They also have ways that you can submit a service request. So, and they're really cool about it too. I've always really, really liked Whatnot's customer service. So, I mean, they just have a really positive attitude, and they're here to make everybody's shopping experience fun. Okay, somebody's saying, let's see. There's a new trend, which is 1738 or 58. I missed the last part. Okay, lots and lots and lots and lots of people wanting followers. Here, I'll just randomize. Somebody said 6'7". Let's view the profile. No followers. Oh, it's Gia though. No followers. I don't think I'm gonna be your first, Gia. Let's make that a special someone. But good for you. And that's also another way, I think, if you are trying to like suss somebody out and determine are they familiar with Whatnot? Are they a regular user or are they brand new to the platform? Probably because of this type of a big promotion. You can click and look at their profiles. Uploading a photo or an image definitely helps set you apart as more of a established user. And there's ways you can customize that using your account settings. And I do also want to mention before we wrap this part up, every Whatnot interface has its own special features. I will tell you that I've used I've used the web browser. I've also used the Android app, and I will tell you that there are different features on different interfaces, and each one is a little bit special. The one that tends to have the most special features is actually the iPhone app. So if you have an iPhone, your Whatnot user experience will probably be most enhanced with some of those extra special features, but you can get it on a multiple of different platforms and use what's convenient and available to you. But when you watch my YouTube, feel free to have those shows running in the background, because on the Whatnot playlist, you can literally just have it running 24/7. And as you have time, you can pop in and you can watch. My videos, there is a big variety, including tutorial videos that I've made on how to sell and shop on the platform. There are seller spotlights. There are just a lot of different things where I'm sampling different shows, saying hi to different hosts, taking you behind the scenes, getting ready for a show. All of that is on the Whatnot. So it's not all about me. There are going to be some videos that have outperformed the ones that I've made about myself that are just featuring other sellers. And so it's always exciting to see what's on that playlist. So Stay Home to Shop is the username on Whatnot. Common spelling, one word. That's also the same on YouTube. So Stay Home to Shop, one word, common spelling. Check out that Whatnot playlist because I think you're really going to find it to be a lot of fun. And until the next time I see you, which might not be very long, but until the next time I see you,